Hi there. So in today's video, we'll be looking at factorizing algebraic expressions by taking out a common factor. So let's begin with an example. If we have been given 3abc plus 12ab minus 6ac minus 9ad, and we need to take out the highest common factor. So what we're going to do is try to find what is common in each of our terms. So to start, we see that they all have a in them, so we can take that out as a common factor. Also, looking at the numbers, you see that here we've got 3, we've got 12, we've got 6 and 9. And 3 is a common multiple of all of them. So that means we can also take 3 out from all of these terms. So in the first term, we're going to take out 3a and we'll be left with bc. In the second one, we can take out 3a again, but for us, if we take 3, we'll be left with 4. Because 12 is made up of 3 times 4. So if we take out 3, we'll be left with 4. And we're also taking out a, so that means we are left with 4b. In the third one, we are taking out 3 again. So 6 is made up of 2 times 3. So that means if we take 3 out, we're left with 2, and we're also taking a, so all that's left is 2c. So this is minus 2c. And then in the last one, 9 is made up of 3 multiplied by 3. So if we take out 3, we are left with 3. And a is taken out 2, so all that's left is d. So that is then what is left behind. And there's nothing that is common in all of these terms that are left behind. So this is then just the final answer. All right, let's do another example. So we can call this number 1. So here we've been given 6x squared y minus 12xy. All right, let's find what is common between all of these terms. So we see that we've got 6 and we have 12. And what's common between these is that 6 can be divided, or can rather go into 12. So 12 is made up of 2 times 6. So 2 times 6 gives us 12. So if we take out 6, we'll be left with 2. So now we found one factor that's common between the two terms. Also, we see that here there's a y, here there's a y. So that's another common factor we can take out. And they both have x, but in the first term, it's x to the power of 2. And in the second term, it's just x. We know that x to the power of 2 is made up of x multiplied by x. So that means we can take out 1x. So in the end, what we have is 6x is our common factor, our highest common factor. So what is left here is x times y, because we took 1x out. And here we've got 2. We took x out. We took x out. So now we just have 2y. Okay, and then what is left behind is that there are these y's I identified earlier. We can still take those out. So that means if we take the y's out, we have x here left by itself minus 2 as the final answer. So I did it in 2 steps, but you could have definitely done this in 1 step. All right. Now let's do a question that is a bit more challenging. So moving on to number 3. So we've been given 4y minus 3 plus k 3 minus y. So this one looks a bit different from the two questions we've just done earlier on. Okay, so at first it might look like there's nothing common between these terms, but what we need to realize is that, so let's make this blue. Here we've got minus 3 and a positive y, whereas here we've got a positive 3 and a negative y. So what needs to happen is one of these brackets need to be manipulated to look like the other. We always prefer to have the variable being positive and the number can be negative. So that means let's try to make this y positive, and hence that means this is going to become negative. How are we going to do that? Well, it's by taking out a common factor that might not seem like it's there, but it is there. And that number is -1. So here we have 4y minus 3. We're not going to do anything there. Plus k. And then we are going to open a bracket. And then we're going to take -1 out from 3. So 3 divided by -1 leaves you with -3. So I took out 1 there. That means here I'm left with a -3. Because when I put back this -1 inside, it should give me what I originally had, which was the +3. And then -y divided by -1 gives you +1. So here we now have a +1 and we close our bracket. Alright, so now we see that it's looking very similar to that other bracket we have over here. So this is looking much more like that. Okay, let's proceed. Now all we're going to do is rearrange. So 4y minus 3 k. Let's keep this -1 here. Let's not do anything yet. And then this then just becomes y minus 3. Okay, now time to simplify further. So we have that k over there outside the bracket, and this then needs to be multiplied by this -1 over here. So here we're going to have y minus 3, forgot my plus, so now it's -k, because k times -1 is that, -k, and then we still have the y minus 3. Okay, so now you see that, oh, I haven't changed colors. Let's make it pink and a bit wider. Now you see that this y minus 3 and that y minus 3 are common in both terms. So now that is the common factor we're going to take out. So we're going to take out y minus 3 and then open a square bracket. And then when you take out y minus 3, you're left with 4. And here you're left with k. Close our square bracket. So now we can just convert to round brackets. And you see that we are done.